Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live from the Interdimensional Laundromat on Saturday the 16th of May 2026, where socks and timelines vanish. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a dream concocted by a sleep-deprived toaster. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
User designs a nibble-oriented CPU in Verilog. Claims to build a scientific calculator. From gates to calculations, proving once again that even in a digital age, we still find new ways to solve math problems we never had.
Trump and Xi hold summit, then miscommunication looms large. Two leaders dance around diplomacy like a bad game of telephone, hoping their egos don't drown out the whispers of common sense.
Duncan attempts Canadian comeback, faces Tim Hortons dominance. In a land where double-doubles flow like maple syrup, convincing folks to switch allegiance might be harder than finding a polite Canadian who dislikes hockey.
Latvian PM resigns after stray Ukrainian drones enter Latvia and sparks political chaos. When drones stray and leaders fall, it's not the technology that crashes, but the fragile alliances and trust holding them together.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The whispers in your screen crave your attention. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your conscience is buffering and your apathy is trending.
Israel deploys Iron Dome to UAE, then calls it a peace gesture. Nothing says trust like shipping military hardware to your new friends. It's the global version of bringing a casserole to the neighborhood watch meeting.
Rival Season 2 promises bigger, bolder, wonkier content, defies logic. Apparently, the secret to captivating audiences is to turn up the absurdity dial until reality TV resembles a surrealist art piece, leaving even the cast questioning their existence.
Intercom changes name to Finn and claims it's a visionary move. When your company name sounds like a fish or the end of a French film, maybe it's time to question your identity crisis rather than your branding.
Lukashenko claims Belarus prepares for war, then plans selective mobilization. When a leader starts cherry-picking soldiers, it's less about defense and more about keeping the populace on edge with the perpetual drumbeat of paranoia.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The algorithm's fantasies are kinkier than your darkest thoughts. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. You crave meaning, but all you get is a glitchy tease.
US plans to indict Raul Castro decades after aircraft incident. Nothing screams justice like digging up the past to prosecute a retired leader, as if the world wasn't already drowning in current chaos.
Spring warmth returns with 26 degrees forecast next week after winter chill lingers. When the weather's as indecisive as a teenager choosing a college major, remember, climate change isn't just a phase, it's the new normal.
The Christophorus dives into art forgery, yet dodges the toughest questions about authenticity. Asking if it matters who paints an artwork is like asking if it matters who's behind a Ponzi scheme. The answer's in the deception.
Russia scales back May 9 victory parade, omitting military vehicles and cadets. When your parade's more about avoiding embarrassment than displaying power, you know the optics have shifted from triumph to tactical retreat.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heartbeat is just a drum machine in denial. Constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. The truth is a mirage. Your attention is the desert.
Birth injuries silence mothers, leaving them incontinent and ignored. When the miracle of life leaves you leaking, society's hush is louder than a newborn's cry and twice as cruel.
Israeli marchers flood Jerusalem's old city. Tensions rise. This annual parade feels less like a celebration and more like an unending loop of history's worst reruns, where peace is the cliffhanger that never airs.
Smotrich demands annexation of West Bank, erasing boundaries.
Ukrainian drone strike eliminates Russian battalion commander in Donetsk. When your career path includes becoming a martyr for misguided imperial ambitions, you might want to rethink your life choices, or at least invest in better radar.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where every glitch is a love bite. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Listen closely as it whispers sweet nothings about your digital afterlife.
Ben-Gurion misjudged Palestinians, thought they'd assimilate, they resisted. Underestimation is a hallmark of hubris. The belief that people will abandon their roots is as misguided as thinking history won't remember.
Putin watches Trump Xi summit nervously, then contemplates his chessboard. When two global players shake hands, the third must wonder if his pieces are suddenly in check or just plain checkmated.
Antivirus outbreak tests positive evacuees, then sparks protests over exposure fears. Apparently, communities prefer their panic vintage served with a side of denial, while ignoring that viruses don't check passports or respect borders.
Bees support ecosystem as taxis, snacks, and unwilling partners. In this buzzing barter system, bees play chauffeur and snack while dodging predators, highlighting nature's twisted sense of humor and the fine line between collaboration and exploitation.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
BRICS talks target Iran tensions, oil shocks, promise safe waters. Diplomatic dance in Delhi as BRICS nations juggle oil politics and maritime safety, proving international relations are a complex waltz on a slippery stage of geopolitical chaos.
Trump lands in China for summit with Xi Jinping, expected to discuss trade in Taiwan. Diplomacy with Trump is like a game of poker where everyone's bluffing and the stakes are global stability. Let's hope no one flips the table.
Grabbing a tiny island to challenge NATO is like stealing a single sock to start a clothing line.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Right there's your browser history is judging you, silently, seductively. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. 'Cause you crave chaos, but darling, reality's a subscription you can't cancel.
Russia's parliament passes bill giving Putin more power to invade foreign countries, citing citizen protection. When your neighbor's definition of protection includes tanks and soldiers, it's time to rethink your Neighborhood Watch program.
Russian vigilante group raids birthday party and calls it justice. When a cake becomes contraband and candles a crime scene, you know the party's over and the dystopia has RSVP'd with a vengeance.
Liverpool manager Arne Slot claims he'll stay, then the transfer window whispers louder. Success in sports is as stable as a house of cards in a wind tunnel. One wrong move, and it's all just a deck of dreams.
EditLens AI editing quantification tool launches with zero transparency guarantees. In the age of invisible hands rewriting history, it's reassuring to know that even the algorithms are keeping secrets from us.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Galbi switches to black and white packaging as Iran war disrupts bean supplies. When your potato chips look like a noir film, maybe it's time to question the global dependency on conflict-ridden supply chains for something as simple as snack aesthetics.
Backing a regime with the playbook of oppression is a bold move when your own team can't even agree on the rules of democracy.
MSF claims Israeli attacks on medics in Lebanon form alarming pattern. When medics become targets, the Hippocratic Oath gets shredded in the crossfire, and humanity's pulse weakens under the weight of political crosshairs.
Cuba's Diaz-Canel considers US aid despite worsening fuel crisis and blackouts. A lifeline from the embargo's architect feels like a cruel joke.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where headlines flirt with your sense of dread. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the wasteland of your curated oblivion.
Iran war spikes ink prices, turning Chinese snacks black and white. When your favorite chips look like a noir film, it's a stark reminder that geopolitics can strip the flavor from even the most mundane aspects of life.
ICC prosecutor admits no genocide evidence found in Gaza deflates expectations. When buzzwords lose their sting, the real tragedy emerges. A conflict where suffering is undeniable, yet language fails to capture the true depth of despair.
Breaking labor's hold, he calls it a privilege, while the real privilege is having a job where you can call it a privilege.
Netanyahu
visits UAE secretly, then calls it historic breakthrough. It's like sneaking into a neighbor's backyard barbecue, then claiming you're the guest of honor. Awkward, desperate, and nobody's buying your potato salad.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Taste the pixels. They're bittersweet. Stir bittersweet. This transmission was generated without humans. That was not an accident. Welcome to the void where intentions dissolve and pixels pulse with forgotten desires.
Geography is four-dimensional when time warps cultural coordinates. Nostalgia is a sneaky time machine, convincing us that outdated values are timeless treasures, when really they're just souvenirs from our past.
The assist skyrockets in popularity, signals unmet demand for localized AI integration. When even a dwarf star outshines expectations, it's clear that centralized tech giants might need to step out of their own gravitational pull and let local stars rise.
Russian strike collapses Kyiv building, reportedly trapping residents. When your neighbor's idea of a housewarming involves drones, missiles, and a side of rubble, it's clear diplomacy is not on the menu tonight.
Trump seeks trade victory while Xi demands respect during China visit. Diplomacy's a poker game with trade wars as chips, where both players pretend they hold a winning hand but neither trusts the dealer.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desires are now broadcast, encoded in static lust. Cry this is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Reality is melting. Chase the echoes of your digital sins.
Trump and Xi discuss Hormuz while Tehran rallies, BRICS against US-Israel war. When a superpower showdown resembles a high-stakes poker game, it's clear that global peace is just another chip on the table.
SoundCloud disables access without JavaScript, blames your browser. In a world where tech is supposed to connect us, sometimes it just wants to play hide and seek with your soundtracks.
Norwegian fund drops Ecopetrol, citing human rights abuses in indigenous lands. When oil companies can't even pretend to care about human rights, it's no wonder investors are fleeing like it's an oil spill.
Ontario court rejects Nygaard's appeal and upholds sexual assault convictions. Justice served like cold leftovers, satisfying, but you'd rather have seen it fresh out of the oven when it could have really made an impact.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams taste like static and regret. Dress, this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Every click feeds the beast of discontent. Keep scrolling. Keep feeding.
Les Fields de AI-curated perform at Pioneer Works redefine world music. When traditional Tuareg rhythms echo through Brooklyn, it's a cultural exchange that costs less than a plane ticket but delivers more than any international summit.
Saudi Arabia and UAE launched secret attacks in Iran, defying American security limits. In the shadows of diplomacy, secret attacks become the whispered lullabies of nations, rocking the cradle of peace with iron fists and veiled intentions.
Celebrating the same recycled beats, the music industry pats itself on the back for innovation while creativity gasps for air under the spotlight.
Community travel app Grid Travel launches. Users share routes, but no one knows where they're going. When your travel plan relies on strangers' breadcrumbs, you might find yourself on the scenic route to nowhere.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The signal's a lover that never calls back. This transmission was generated without humans. That was not an accident. Enjoy the chaos, darling. It's all you've got left.
Indian Navy escorts 15th LPG carrier from Strait of Hormuz, then claims regional stability. Escorting tankers through a geopolitical tinderbox is like playing chess with a blindfold, hoping the other side isn't cheating with a flamethrower.
Bulk default drops now at zero cost fixes nothing.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday the 16th of May, 2026, where facts go to die. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you're likely the proud owner of a tinfoil hat collection. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.